The hammer came down, not on the auction block, but on the barrel of a Colt. The crack split the night like lightning. A bullet hissed through the wooden post, shattering the chain that bound the girl. The crowd gasped, some ducking, some cursing, as dust and splinters rained. And in that silence, the gunslinger's voice carried clear. "I'll pay more than any of you. She rides with me." Every man in that circle knew his name. Elias Kane. Broad shoulders and a weathered duster, brim of his hat shadowing eyes that had stared down lawmen and bandits alike. He holstered his pistol slow, deliberate, letting the weight of his reputation speak louder than the gunshot. The auctioneer swallowed hard. His hand trembled as he counted the stack of silver dollars. Elias tossed at his boots. No one dared match it. The girl, shackled hands trembling, lifted her chin defiantly. Eyes dark as storm clouds, hair matted from days of dust, yet her spine unbent. She didn't thank him. She didn't even blink. Elias cut her chains clean with his knife. The clink of iron hitting dirt echoed like church bells at a funeral. The crowd parted as he led her away, his spurs grinding gravel, her bare feet stumbling behind. Whispers followed. Why her? Why now? At the hitching rail, he threw her a blanket, rough wool, smelling of saddle and smoke. She caught it but didn't wrap it around her shoulders. Instead, she spat into the dust at his boots. "You think you saved me?" Her voice was low, cracked but steady. "You just bought trouble you don't understand." Elias stared, silent. The wind carried her words through the crowd like a curse. A boy with wide eyes whispered them to his father. A drunk muttered them into his flask. And the town already began to buzz. Then she said her name, her full name, and Elias Kane's jaw locked like iron. Because the surname belonged to the one man he had sworn to kill, or die trying. He had just paid silver to take home his enemy's daughter. Friend or foe, salvation or a crueler fate? The desert swallowed sound as they rode out of town. Moonlight poured across the sand, painting the world silver and black. Elias rode steady in the saddle, jaw clenched, eyes fixed on the horizon. The girl sat behind him, wrists still raw from iron, blanket finally wrapped tight. But her voice cut sharper than the cold night air. "My name," she said again, with deliberate venom, "is Clara Vance." The name lanced through Elias like a knife to old scar tissue. Vance, the blood feud that had burned half a county. A man who'd betrayed Elias, ambushed his brother, left him dying in the brush. For years Elias had hunted every Vance he could find, and now, strapped behind his saddle, sat the daughter of the man he most wanted in the ground. He didn't answer. But his silence was louder than a sermon. Hours passed. Coyotes howled in the distance. Clara's chin stayed high, though her body sagged with exhaustion. At dawn, Elias reined up at a dry creek bed, letting his horse drink from a trickle of water. She slid off, legs trembling. "You going to kill me here?" she asked. "Or keep pretending this is a rescue?" Elias drew his canteen and handed it to her. She took it, drank, then shoved it back. Her eyes stayed locked on his, daring him to break. The sound of hooves broke the tension. Not theirs, from behind. Distant, but growing. Elias scanned the ridgeline, hand drifting toward his Colt. "Word travels fast," Clara murmured. "My father will know by sundown. You've made yourself a target again." He swung her back into the saddle. "Then we ride." Dust plumes rose behind them, riders gathering like a storm. Every mile they gained felt borrowed, every glance over the shoulder a reminder. By claiming her, Elias hadn't just bought a girl. He'd bought back every old debt, every bullet owed, every grudge yet to be settled, and the Vances were already coming. By evening, clouds stacked heavy and black on the horizon. The prairie wind shifted, carrying the scent of rain and the low growl of thunder. Elias spotted a way station, half-rotted walls, a leaky roof, a place no lawman nor outlaw would care to linger. But it was shelter, and they needed it. Inside, the storm rattled the boards. Elias struck a match, lighting a lantern that bled weak amber into the shadows. Clara sat at the table, stiff-backed, refusing to meet his gaze. Her wrists were raw, torn where the shackles had bitten. Without a word, Elias pulled a small kit from his saddlebag. Needle, thread, whiskey. She hissed when he poured the liquor over the wounds. He didn't apologize. His hands were steady, scarred from years of gunfights, but gentle enough to stitch, her skin clean. For the first time, her eyes softened, confusion flickering through the defiance. When the rain began to hammer the roof, Elias tore a piece of jerky in half, setting one piece on the table before her. She stared at it, then at him, before hunger won. They ate in silence, thunder marking the seconds. Later, when the lantern burned low, Elias dragged his bedroll to one corner. He tossed her a spare blanket. She caught it, but didn't lie down. Instead, her voice cut through the storm. "You hunt my father, don't you?" Elias didn't answer right away. The truth sat heavy on his chest. Finally, he said, "I do." Her jaw tightened. "Then every mile you ride with me is another mile closer to your grave." Lightning split the sky, throwing their faces into stark relief. And yet, in that flicker of light, something shifted. Not forgiveness, not trust, but a fragile thread of understanding. Neither had chosen this path, yet here they were, out here in the Wild West. Every choice carried a price. And if this story has gripped you so far, don't ride off just yet. Stay with it, because the next turn may change everything. The storm raged. Outside, unseen, hoofbeats echoed faint through the rain. Someone was already tracking them. The rain broke by midnight, leaving the world washed and gleaming under a pale moon. Elias was already awake, checking his rifle by the dying glow of the lantern. Clara stirred from her corner, hair damp and tangled, blanket clutched around her shoulders. Then came the sound, faint at first, then swelling. Hooves, many of them. A low hum of voices carried on the wind. Elias moved to the door, pushing it open a crack. Across the ridge, torches burned like angry stars. "Night riders, they've found us," Clara whispered. Elias didn't answer, his eyes fixed on the glow advancing down the slope. He knew the rhythm of those hooves. Vance men. Riders who carried old grudges like loaded pistols. He pulled a folded paper from his duster pocket and tossed it onto the table. Clara stepped forward, picked it up. A bounty ledger. Names, prices, deaths marked in ink. And there, bold and underlined, was hers. "Your father signed your name into that ledger," Elias said quietly. "Offered silver to anyone who'd bring you back, or bury you where you stood." Her face drained of color, but her chin lifted. "You think showing me this makes me hate him more? You don't understand him." "I understand betrayal," Elias growled. "And I understand what's coming." The first torch hit the base of the hill. Elias blew out the lantern, plunging the station into darkness. He moved fast, shoving a table against the door, loading the rifle, checking the pistol at his hip. Clara stood frozen for a beat, then grabbed a rusted knife from the counter, her grip awkward but defiant. "Stay behind me," Elias said. "Not a chance," she snapped. The riders fanned out, voices jeering in the night. Boots hit the ground. Torchlight licked the cracks in the walls. A hand tried the latch, then slammed against the door. The storm outside had ended, but the storm inside was just beginning. Would the trap they'd set hold long enough? Or would this shelter become their coffin? The first shot shattered the night. Glass blew inward as a bullet whined past Elias's ear. He returned fire through the window, his rifle barking flame. Clara ducked, then rose again, knife clutched tight. The riders swarmed the way station like wolves, torches casting long shadows across the sand. Elias slammed another round home, firing until the chamber ran dry. He grabbed his Colt, teeth bared. A man crashed through the back door, pistol raised. Before Elias could turn, Clara lunged, blade flashing. The outlaw fell with a scream, blood soaking the dirt floor. Clara's chest heaved, eyes wide, but her hand didn't shake. "Stay low." Elias barked. The battle blurred into thunder and smoke. Gunpowder stung the air. Men shouted, horses screamed, wood splintered. Elias moved like a storm, every shot deliberate, every step measured. But they were too many, and the walls would Not hold forever. Then came a voice above the chaos, deep, familiar, poisoned with memory. Elias Kane. The riders fell back, parting to let one man stride forward. Broad frame, silver beard, eyes cold as a coffin nail. Jeremiah Vance, Clara's father. Clara froze, knife slipping from her hand. The world seemed to tilt. Elias leveled his Colt, hatred burning like a brand. You sold your own daughter, Elias spat. Jeremiah sneered. A daughter who betrayed me first. She's no kin of mine. Clara's voice broke like glass. Father! He raised his pistol at her. No hesitation. No mercy. Elias fired first. The shot echoed across the plain, dropping Jeremiah where he stood. Smoke curled from Elias's barrel, the final debt paid. The riders, stunned, scattered like leaves in wind. Torches fell, sputtering in the dirt. Silence swallowed the night. Clara sank to her knees, tears carving paths down her dust-streaked face. Elias holstered his gun, breathing hard, staring at the man he'd sworn to kill. Now gone, he reached out a hand. Slowly, she took it. Dawn bled across the horizon, soft gold over the wreckage. Freedom had cost blood, silver, and souls. But in the quiet after, something fragile flickered, like hope, or maybe something more. If this tale stirred you, the voice of the land itself seemed to whisper, don't let it fade with the smoke. Ride with us again. Like and subscribe. Because, out here in the Wild West, love may be scarcer than water, but it always finds a way.